Then she's doing other things.
Here, very here. Gotta be free. It's a good time.
Oh, it's not the market. I'm like misspeaking.
It's because of the farmers market, but I want to be there.
On Friday. Oh, yes, Ken's good. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm positive. Yeah, it's good. It's good. No, I'm not lying. It's good. I like your pants. Are those Buddha pants? Isn't that crazy? You just came in and said, I love your pants. I was like, oh, they're Buddha pants. They're so comfy.
Once you own a pair,
You gotta keep getting them. Yeah, I know. Why would you wear any other? I know. Exactly.
No. I was sure you.
Do you have to get your child today? Okay. Last week? Okay. And I didn't mean have to, but I mean, I was like, time and I are not always like linear. I thought of you several times this week. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, anyway.
You're fine.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Things tend to work out like that.
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. Oh. Nice to see you guys. I'm filming the class, but you guys are not on the camera. It's just me. Okay.
I don't have it right now. I don't have a piece of all that. Yeah, mine too. I just wanted to show you. I was gonna say, if you can put me back once it goes on. You know, I'm going. Wait for me. Where are you going?
Does anyone have any requests for today? Hips.
Request.
You were gonna say hips too, Kathy?
I always say hips.
Hips, all right. Perfect. Anything else? Feet, yeah. All right. We're moving into flip-flop season, so we'll stretch our feet. Or barefoot season, even better. Okay. Let's start however you want to start. It could be lying down or seated or something else. And we'll just take a few moments to get grounded here. Could be a little bit of movement, feels good just to land in. And starting to just observe yourself here in the space that you're in. You can notice the sounds in the room, maybe even further out in the distance. You can notice anything the senses call your attention to. You can notice thoughts that are present or arising. And notice that you're just a witness to all of these things, to the thoughts, to the senses that you're aware of. The witness, there's nothing to change. It's just an observation and an acceptance of what is. You might scan your body from the head slowly down, just inviting yourself to soften into the skin. Relaxing the spaces around your eyes, your tongue, your jaw. Inviting the spine to be long. The spine is long, and you can just soften the parts that are connecting to it. So all of the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons. Just inviting a softening in as you observe the length of your spine, of your body. And then inviting yourself to observe what parts of the body feel receptive, feel open and flexible. Gratitude for those spaces. And also observing any tension in the body, also with gratitude. Gratitude for the body that carries us from place to place. The encasement of the energy that we identify with as ourselves. So just gratitude for all of that, including tension, and then inviting it to soften if it's ready to release and let it go. And then we can notice the rhythm of the breath, the natural cadence of the breath. So there's movement of energy in the physical body as we breathe in. There's an expansion somewhere. And as we breathe out, there's a natural compression, an internal warmth. So we can just notice where we experience the breath path, where we expand into as we breathe in, where we shrink down as we breathe out. Breathing in, expanding a little more, and breathing out, a complete release of the air, just letting it all go, and even a little suspension at the end. And then we've made room to take in a deeper breath, filling up even more like a water bottle from the bottom to the middle to the top, expanding even more, filling up. Pausing at the top full of air, maybe even sipping a little more air in. And releasing it all down slowly and patiently, completely letting it all release, staying tall, staying long through the skeleton, releasing everything that doesn't serve, suspending at the end, and then expanding again. So 3 parts to the breath, the Dirga breathing. The inhale expands us from front to back like a balloon. And the exhale draws the navel into the spine. And then the inhale expands us again, front to back, Buddha belly, and also side to side, stretching between rib bones. And the exhale weaves the ribs closer together, navel to spine, the pelvic floor lifts, the jaw stays relaxed. And then the inhale, expanding front to back, side to side, from bottom to top. Heart space expands and rises. And then the exhale shrinks us, chest, ribs, belly. And just using the breath as an anchor allows us to be present in the here and now. And as active thoughts occur, gratitude for the brain that allows for them to come into our awareness and just back into the breath again. Okay, so we can find a little movement. It could be fingers and toes, a little wiggling, a little organic or intentional movement in any way. And we can just slowly make our way up into a seated position. If you've been sitting already, you might change your position. And let's actually extend our legs out front. So we can root the sitting bones. It could be on a blanket or blocks to the floor. And we can find some movement with our hands and feet. Could be pointing, flexing, starfish and fists. Could be stars and fists through circles as well. Just kind of waking up the limbs and the joints. Okay, and then flexing the feet and the sitting bones are rooted. Let's just roll the shoulders a little bit. We can roll them any way, any direction. Just moving maybe a different way, a different direction. And we might move the head around. It could be linear or circular or something in between, just mindfully not straining the neck. And then aligning head, heart, pelvis, shoulders, roll back and down. And we'll float our arms outwards and upwards to breathe in. So the arms rise, the shoulders stay down. And as we exhale, we'll bring prayer hands to our back. We'll round our back, squeeze the belly, roll the thighs in, maybe look down. And then inhale, pointing the toes, we can reach up, shoulders down, ribs in as we breathe in. And then exhale, flexing the feet. The knees can bend here to lengthen the low back. And we'll fold in. And then we'll point the toes and bring the hands back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together to open the heart. Inhale. Exhale, flex the feet. Sit tall. We'll do it again. So inhale, expanding. Exhale, round. Engage the core. Puff up the shoulder blades. Point the toes, reach up. Squeeze the quadriceps as you inhale. And exhale, flex your feet and fold. Maybe the knees are bent. And point the toes, reach the arms back. Seated back bend, lift and open your heart. Exhale, sit tall, flex your feet. And last time, inhale, reaching, expanding. Exhale, rounding, squeezing. Point the toes, reach up, inhale, squeeze quadriceps. Exhale, flex and fold. So we'll stay in our forward fold and the hands can just rest where they reach. We don't have to try harder. And each time that we breathe in, we're feeling the spine is lengthening in the backs of the legs too. And each time that we breathe out, it's like the hip creases draw back as the heart reaches forward. So it's just the breath rhythm that deepens the fold, and it feels deeper on the exhale as the body shrinks down. And just breathing into the space, into the body. Scanning through the body while you breathe here to see if you might soften into your jaw, your throat, your belly, your hips. And then we'll point the toes, preparing to inhale. We'll bring our hands back. And we'll hold a seated back bend for several breaths. So it could be sitting still, or you might rock your hips side to side, or it could be a reverse plank pose if you wanted to do that. So whatever feels good in your body. A little rock tends to release the psoas a bit. Good. So sitting tall once again, sitting bones down and heart lifted. Let's bring the feet to the floor, bent knees, hands can touch down too, and we can windshield wiper side to side. So any depth, any speed, we're massaging the glutes and opening the hips and the thighs. And you might play with just letting the knees feel heavier as they come down to one side. Feel a stretch through the IT band as the knees drop down. We can bring our knees down to the right and turn your heart to face the right shin. And take a deep breath in, lengthen. And then as we exhale, we can fold over the right shin any amount. So you could even stay upright, just folding over. If it feels good, You could land or you could sway or rock your head. If you're choosing movement, that might illuminate a space that would feel good to hold the stretch, just based on how it feels in your body. Letting the weight of the thoughts go, just breathing here now. We can rise back up and leave our legs as they are and continue rotating towards your right. You'll be facing the back of your space. So here we'll feel the stretch move into the hip flexor a little more. So we can breathe sitting upright, or you might walk yourself down towards the floor. There could be a block or a bolster or a blanket under you. You might come down a little bit onto the elbows or all the way. So, and if you get, into a fold and it didn't feel right, you can come back out of it. So just scanning the body to see what spaces might soften a little more. Can you feel the support of the earth beneath you and just let go a little? And each exhale releases tension, releases what doesn't serve you. Okay, we can rise back up to slow movement, gentle, supported, turning back towards the front eventually. We can find a windshield wiping movement again. Hands could be on the ground, or you might try hands free. You could reach your arms in the direction away from the knees. You might travel a little. Okay, so we're coming to the other side. So the other side is similar, but it's different. We can face the left shin, breathe into a long spine, and then stay upright or fold over that left shin any amount. So yeah, there could be something under your head. Sometimes it's really grounding to connect the third eye space to the floor or a prop. Could also just be hanging, just softening, letting the shoulders round. There could be swaying side to side or just listening to your body. Your body knows what would feel good here. There might even be some audible exhales. Stimulating the throat chakra allows us to relax right into the root. Hmm. 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 We're going to transition and come back up, slowly walking back up, and the legs can stay. And we're going to continue the rotation towards the left to be facing more towards the back of your space. So upright or folding down partially or all the way. You can check in with your neck here and your shoulders. Would a different head position feel good? You can just feel it out. See if you can soften into the toes and the knees and the hips. And feel the connection points to the earth. Breathing in grounded energy. Breathing out. Really like detoxifying into this twist. Thoughts, words, actions. So as you feel ready, you can rise back up again, walking the hands in, and we'll end up coming back to face the front. Again, we can windshield wiper with or without the hands. Could be one hand. Could be something else, like a bit of a rainbow. Good. Okay, and we'll eventually bring the soles of the feet together. And we can rock a little from sitting bone to sitting bone. Rocking is nice to massage the nervous system and the sitting bones. And then we might root the sitting bones and bounce the knees, just like a little flutter. You can lift through the heart, roll the shoulders back and down. And then just let the knees go, just softening so the spine is long. So if the feet are accessible, we can give them a little massage here. So we have all of these great pressure points in the feet. So massaging your feet is also massaging your internal organs. We've got heart, lungs, pancreas, all here. We can massage into the individual toes. Into the arches and into the heels. Okay, and then we'll come back to this bound angle, but just finding a comfortable shape so that you can take your right foot in your hands. So whether that's a straight left leg or something different, we'll just spend a little more time on the right foot. So we can give a little extra love in here into all the places. And then this can feel awkward sometimes, especially if you're wearing socks maybe, but maybe you'll interlace your left fingers into the right toes, spreading the toes out or whatever will work. I know it can be a challenge, but then we might even lift the foot up a little higher. So now we're getting into the hip while we're holding hands with our foot. We can rock it a little bit. Yeah, and then a little rotation. So like we can get into the rotation. It's like just this deep remembering. Like certainly we've all done this at some point as children. You know? Yeah. You've never done it. You certain? Okay.
We're doing a great job.
Yeah, you're doing it now. Okay, so now we're gonna like rock the baby. So you're either holding the hand and the knee, the foot and the knee, that's a foot, or you can bring it into the crook of your arm. So we can rock a little deeper. So there's no destination, but we're inviting the heart and the shin towards each other. Okay, it's getting loud. And then like a happy baby on the right side in the seated position, we'll invite the knee back towards the back and the foot shines forward. Yeah. And there might be rocking here too. Great. Okay, so let's extend it. We'll bring it out and we can face the center of the V here. And we can point and flex that right foot. Okay. Rooting both sitting bones. So we'll add a side stretch. We can flex the foot and bring our right hand to the inside of the right leg. We're gonna roll the left shoulder open. Okay, so keep space between shoulders and ears. Your hand can land on your shoulder or your head or overhead. You might reach for your foot with both hands. And you're just gonna keep that sitting bone rooting. Doesn't matter how far we come, our bodies are all different. But we'll just breathe and open into the chest and way down into the left sitting bone. Yeah, breathe. And there might even be like some circles with this left arm. You might rotate through the shoulder. And just all the while creating space, like the back of the neck is long, breathing. Great. Okay, we'll come back up. We can bring the left hand diagonally behind and stretch the right side. So now we're opening up through the right side ribs. We can stay here or we can take it into a stargazer. So we might lift onto the left shin, the hips rise, and we can even root through the outer edge of the right foot. Okay, check in with your shoulders without straining. There might be movement, adjustments. Awesome. And then we'll come back down. And we'll turn our heart to face the extended right leg now. So we're flexing the foot. We'll breathe in. We might lift the arms up and then exhale, fold forward. Okay, and the knee can bend. So we don't, especially when there's tension in the low back, if we bend that knee, we'll still feel the hamstring stretch, but we'll also lengthen the low back. And then each inhale is really expansive, like stretching a little more on the in-breaths. And the exhales are devotional. The hip crease draws back and the heart space is reaching forward without effort. So we'll rise back up again. When you're ready, take your time. And then we can come back to our bound angle shape and we can rock and or bounce the knees. We might add a forward fold this time. So there's options. If you like to keep your spine straight, the feet will stay close to you. They might even open like a book as you hinge. If you like to round the back, we can take a diamond shape and intentionally round the back and hang the head down towards the feet. Either is good. And if you're rounding, you might even sway. So whatever feels best in your body. And there's no destination. Sometimes we might find ourselves trying to reach further to that space, that point, but there's no destination. We just breathe where we are, try to just breathe a little deeper here. And then we'll rise back up again. Okay, and then we'll shift that to the second side now. So however your right leg wants to be straight or bent, we're gonna take the left hand in our hands, give a little massage. Could be different, same. You could even close your eyes and see what feels good. And then you might interlace. And now you have done this before. You can hold your foot in your hand. You can kind of just circle it around a little bit, massage a little bit. It could be a rock for the hips. Yeah. And just softening through the jaw. Like even if the fingers won't fit, it's okay. It's just, an intention. Breathe. Okay. Rocking. And so then you might even shift it so we can rock the baby. So put in the crook of your arm or in your hand. And we'll intend to straighten through the spine and rock side to side. Yeah. And the heart is lifting. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to open the left hip like a happy baby. So foot in hand. The other hand can support you if you like. We're just basically opening the hips. So drawing back on the knee and the foot shines forward and the heart still lifts. Breathe. Good. Good. And then we're going to straighten it and bring it down. So we can point and flex the toes and the right foot is coming in. Yeah. So we're facing the center of the V and we'll bring the left arm to the inside of the left leg and stretch the right side body. So again, options with your arms. So without straining your shoulder. Could be movement through the shoulder. You could be opening and closing the angle of the armpit. We can try to draw a little bit of weight into the right sitting bone. And breathe deeply into those intercostal muscles between the ribs, creating space. Good. And then we'll come back up. We're going to bring the right hand diagonally behind and stretch the left side. So we can point the toe and stay seated, or you can lift up. Stargazer, shin might come to the floor, the hips might rise. You could be rolling that left shoulder open and rooting through the outer edge of your left foot. Breathing, awesome. Okay, and then we'll come back to sit when you feel ready. And we'll turn to face the extended left leg. Breathe in, lengthen. You might lift your arms and exhale, fold. Okay, so we're drawing back on the right hip crease, left hip crease, and the heart reaches forward. And there's this spiral, so your outer right ribs and inner left thigh are rolling towards each other. And just softening through your face, your jaw, your shoulders, your belly. Okay, and then we'll roll back up. Okay, and we can bend both knees again, windshield wiper that out. Okay. And then we'll come to shift into a Malasana squat, and this will be dynamic movement for flexibility and mobility. So our hands can touch down. Okay, and then we'll just rock a little side to side. So this is feet and hips. So you're welcome. I'm just kidding. But one knee can come towards the floor in the center. You might notice that like one side's tighter than the other, or one side's more flexible. It's okay. And just stretch it all. Really good. Okay. And then we can come to the squat as it feels time. So your hands might stay on the floor. You might be sitting on a block. You might be floating your hands. And we want to just lengthen the spine. So see if we can draw a little weight into the hips and the heels. That's challenging if they're not on the floor, but it's okay. And breathe. Okay. And then more mobile movement. So we can bring our hands down and lift the hips. The feet are wide for this, and the knees might not straighten completely, but we're lifting the hips, lowering the head, and then on the inhale, squatting back down again, lift the heart. Yeah, and then just again, exhale, lift the hips, lower the head, and then inhale, squat back down, lift the heart. Yeah, and just move like this a few more times. Kundalini, I think we do this 28 times. We won't do it. We'll just breathe a few more times for it. Okay, and then standing into the fold, you can find a little bit of a sway. You might be bending one knee and then the other. Hands could be on the body, on blocks, on the floor. It doesn't matter. It could be swaying, hanging, dangling. Good. And then right in the center, you can give a little bounce. If you're hanging, just let your chest kind of bounce towards your legs. And then we'll let the knees bend and we'll roll up to standing. We're just rising slowly like the upper body is dripping down as we rise. And eventually, we're aligned. The head, the hands, no, the head, the heart, and the pelvis all aligned. And we can turn the palms to face forward and just find mountain pose. So the hands and the heart are sympathetically connected. So just opening to receive here. Okay. We'll float the arms up and breathe in. And then turn the palms away and float them back down as you breathe out. Just synchronizing your movement to your breath. We don't have to move together. So just on your inhales, you're expanding outwards and upwards. Your exhales are clearing your energy field. Okay, the eyes are open or closed. Your drishti might follow the movement of your hands. Okay. And then we'll reach the arms up and breathe in, feet roughly under the hips. And as we exhale, we'll fold forward. Your knees can bend again if there's tension in the low back. This uses the quadriceps to lengthen the low back. Okay. And we might work into an active fold just by letting the spine and legs lengthen on the inhale. And on the exhale, imagining your hips stacking right above your ankles. So the weight draws forward. Okay. We'll lift halfway. So fingers can come to your shins and the head reaches forward, tailbone back. Shoulder blades come to the back pockets and the navel to the spine. We'll breathe here. The toes are soft. The arches are rising. The feet are rooting through the four corners. Good. And then we'll exhale and fold deeply. And root through the feet as you inhale. We can rise up. We can reach up. You might look up unless you want to ground more, and then looking down is nice. Okay, and then prayer hands to the heart. Equal balance. Pause for a breath. Okay. Let's take a sun salutation. We can walk to the front of our space. So rooting down through your feet. We'll inhale and reach up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, plank pose. So step your feet back. We can pause and plank for a moment. You can rock a little bit from the front to the back of your balls of your feet, pushing through the heels and then coming to the toes and back. Yeah. Okay, and then from plank, either chaturanga or bringing both knees down first and then chest and chin. And then we can come into a back bend, breathing in and exhale, downward dog. Hips rise, head lowers, broaden the shoulders. We'll look forward and breathe in. We'll exhale, step or walk or hop to the front. And then inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold deeply. Then root down to rise up. You can reach up, you might look up. And then gather prayer hands to the heart. Sacred space. Okay, we'll do a different version. So inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, just the right foot steps back. And we'll lower the right knee down. Okay, so low lunge, Anjaneyasana. We'll reach the arms up. And we'll just pause here in this pose. So the shoulders are lowering as the arms are reaching. Yeah, they could even be bent. And we'll drop back on the left hip crease. And energetically drag the heel and knee together and thighs roll in, letting the weight of the hips sink forward to stretch the hip flexor. Nice. Okay, we'll take a hamstring stretch too. So the hands can come to blocks or the leg or the floor, or they could stay up and we can just draw the hip crease back. So the left hip crease draws back and the heart shines forward and the shoulder blades slide down the back. Okay, let's bend back into the front knee. We'll crawl the hands forward and lift the right knee off the floor. Okay, so runner's lunge, you can get light on the fingertips. You can stay, or maybe the arms even reach forward, drawing back on the left hip crease the whole time. Good. Okay, and then a twist. So right hand down, we're gonna turn towards the left. So your left shoulder can roll open. You could leave your hand down or lift it up or wrap it behind you. Pushing actively through the right heel, the thighs roll towards each other. Awesome. Okay. And then we'll come to plank pose. So untwist and step your left foot back. From plank, we're gonna lower down again. So chaturanga, or knees, chest and chin. And then inhale, lifting the heart, lowering the shoulders. Exhale, downward dog. Hips rise, the head lowers, the shoulders broaden. Good. Let's step the right foot forward now. Right foot forward, left knee down. Anjaneyasana on this side. So now our right hip crease is drawing back. You can choose your arm variation. It could be cactus or up or interlaced or something else. So we're drawing back on the right hip crease, energetically dragging the heel of the right foot and the knee of the left leg towards each other. And the thighs roll in and the heart space rises. Hamstring, so we'll send our hips back. Hands are where you want them to be. And we're just drawing back on that hip crease. Sliding shoulder blades to your back pockets really helps to increase the stretch. Just noticing the breath, noticing what floats to the surface of the awareness. It's not good or bad, just maybe noticing, seeing if maybe focusing on the breath is helpful. Nice. We're going to bend back into the right knee, crawling hands forward, maybe onto blocks or the floor. We'll curl the left toes under. I'm going to lift the left knee off the floor. So fingers can stay down, that's fine. That you might come onto the fingertips, or maybe you reach your arms forward. Still drawing back on your right hip crease and breathing. Awesome. Beautiful. And then preparing to twist. Left hand comes to block or floor. Right hand to thigh or up in the air or wrapping behind your back. And the thighs still roll towards each other. Keep pushing through your left heel. Keep breathing. Nice. And then untwist. And step your right foot back. Plank. Plank to chaturanga, or knees, chest, and chin. Squeeze your elbows and your navel. Inhale, open your heart. Good. Let's come to child's pose this time. We send our hips back and down. The knees could widen if you like. That targets the hips. Or they could be parallel if you wanted to target the low back. Breathe. Knowing that each exhale releases what doesn't serve you. So tension, an active thought in this moment. And that purging creates space to expand into something beneficial on your inhale. Could be a thought, a mantra, an intention. Could be just presence, just here now. Yeah. Let's rise back up to table when you're ready. And we'll curl the toes under. So the heels are rising. And we can windshield wiper the heels side to side. So a little Achilles, shin, foot stretch. All right. And then with the toes curled under, we'll lift the knees a couple inches off the floor. And we can draw our hips back and forward a little bit. So we're increasing the foot stretch here. We're also stretching the knees, strengthening the knees rather, and the shoulders. Okay. And then in our hovering table, shoulders over wrists, we can take cow and cat. So the tail and the heart lift on the inhale, and the exhale rounds the back and squeezes the belly and puffs up the shoulder blades. So just a couple more. Good. And then lowering the knees if they're lifted, we can uncurl the toes and take cow and cat on the floor. Okay. So we'll curl the toes under again. So the balls of the feet are reaching to the floor. Screaming toes. We're going to walk our hands back towards the knees. So your body tells you when it's time to stop coming back. It could be hands on the floor. Hands might rest on your thighs. Hands might come behind. The further you lean back, the more intense the foot stretch. So just taking what you need, don't take any more. And breathe, softening the jaw, relaxing the face. So we'll bring our hands back down and come into a toe squat. So the toes are going to stay curled under, but our knees will lift off the floor. So this is not Malasana squat. Our legs are close together, maybe touching. Okay, we're on the balls of the feet. Your hands can stay down, that's fine. Or they might come to blocks or legs or float. Okay, this is great. This is plenty. Or you can lift and lower your seat. Hands could be grounding or they could be floating or moving. Good. So try to soften the grip of the toes as you do this. And then we're going to come to balance on the balls of the feet right from here. So don't overthink it. Maybe you just rise straight up. Yeah, great. Okay, and then we'll release the heels and the arms back down. Awesome. Okay, we'll come in a chair pose. So just sink the hips back and down. The thighs are rolling inwards, and we can tilt the pelvis to engage our core. So tailbone points down. You might reach your arms forward. That's optional. They might even reach up. We're going to move dynamically. So we'll bring our chest forward, reach the arms back, and lift the heels up. Okay, and then the heels come back down. We'll stand up, volcano, reach the arms up, press through the soles of the feet. Inhale. Okay, exhale, come back down. Same thing. Chest forward, arms back, heels lift. And then heels plant and press down to the earth to rise up and inhale. Okay, one more time. This time we'll hold the balance so the arms come back, the heels lift, the chest is forward. Keep breathing. Good, heels lower, volcano, press down to rise up, inhale, and then exhale, fold forward. Okay, we'll lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, walk the hands forward to plank. So the shoulders will land above the wrists. Okay, we'll tap the right knee down and then straighten it, and then the left, and then straighten it. Good. Okay, then two knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to lower. Inhale, taking a back bend. And exhale, downward dog. So let's lift the right leg up, three-legged dog, and the toes will point to the ground. Then bend that knee and open your hip. So you can stay here, or you might circle a bent knee around to kind of floss the hip. If you're circling, you might try both directions. Inhale, three-legged dog again. And exhale, we'll bend the right knee and tap the left elbow with it. Squeeze and twist. Good. Inhale, three-legged dog. And now exhale, pigeon. We're just going to bring the right knee forward and down. And release the shoelace of the left foot back and down. So here we might sit onto something, a block, a bolster, a cushion, or it could be the deer pose like we did before, maybe the back left leg bends. So if you're straightening, we're bringing the left hip crease to face the floor. You can stay up or fold down onto blocks or bolsters. And if you're bending your knee, then you're bending your knee. Yeah, perfect. Good. So we're just breathing into a stretch for the right hip. See if you can soften into the toes. Relax the jaw and the face. And really just know that each exhale is releasing something tight so that you can breathe a little deeper into that space on the inhale. It's like you fill that tight spot like a balloon with breath. And then the exhale takes the tension away with it. It could even be an audible release of air. It could be a hum or a sigh. Okay, there is a threaded needle we can take here if you wanted to add a bit of a twist in this. So it's up to your body, but you might take your left arm under the right. Okay, and then, yeah, you can just rest down your left cheek onto a block or your other fist or something else. It's possible that now your right hand will wrap behind your back, or you might take extended prayer hands out to the right or something else. And it's possible that you tried this and it doesn't feel right, and then you just adjust. Yeah, it's good. Perfect. And breathe. Okay, everyone took the twist, so we can untwist. Okay, stay for a few more breaths as you are, or seated king pigeon adds a back bend to this, so we can lift up onto the hands. Okay, this is enough. Just keep your jaw and your shoulders relaxed. If you wanted to do the merman, you can lift your left foot off the floor. Okay. You might reach for your left foot with your left hand. You might. You just might. Okay. Okay. Cool. Awesome. And then no slingshots. We'll just let it go. Okay. So we're coming back. Downward dog. Down dog or table or puppy or something. You might be pedaling your feet, shifting your weight, wagging your tail or something different. It could be a flip dog. It could be something else. Okay. So we have just one more side. My friend Lacey says, thank goodness for humans and not octagons. So it's just one more side here. So the left leg lifts up this time. Three-legged dog. Breathe in. Then we can bend that knee and open the hip. You could stay here or draw circles with your bent left knee to open the hip a little more. It could be something different. You can just feel it out. What does your body want to do? And then from three-legged dog, a deep breath in, and then exhale, the bent left knee taps the right elbow or tricep. Squeeze with a twist. Good. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, pigeon. So we're going to bring that left knee forward and down. Maybe the shoelace of your right foot slides back if your leg is straight. Maybe you're sitting on a block, a blanket, or a bolster. And maybe instead it's a deer shape. So we can stay upright or fold forward somewhat. Yeah, perfect. And we're just looking for the stretch for the outer left hip. Good. And then just sinking into the earth, the support of the ground. Each inhale is expansive, so the spine is long. And each exhale is grounding and purging, releasing. There can be a level of patience that comes in to breathe deeply here, just here now, nothing outside of this moment. Okay. And if you took this threaded needle twist on the other side, you might try it again. Honoring your body, one side's different than the other, but maybe now the right arm comes under the left, and then your right shoulder comes towards the floor. You could have a block or a fist under the right side of your head or the floor. Maybe the left arm reaches forward or takes prayer shape, or maybe it's wrapping behind you. And maybe you undo that. Maybe it didn't feel right. Breathing, fluid breath. There's nowhere further to reach to. Just breathe deeply into the space that creates more space. And if you did the threaded needle, you can unthread, untwist. Okay, and then stay or come up for seated king pigeon. So back bending here, heart lifted. And then maybe it's mermaid, maybe the right foot lifts. So the hips square forward if we're doing that. And we want to get light on the fingers if you're going to reach for the right foot with your right hand. Nice, yeah. And it's not all or none. It's like some is great. Okay, so now maybe your left hand lifts. Yay! Good. Awesome, everyone. So we can let that go. Okay, so letting it go, we can come to table or down dog. You could shift or flip or twist. Release the weight of the head. Awesome. Okay. From downward dog, we can make our way to the front of the mat. We're going to end up lying down on our backs. So step, walk, or hop and sit. And then you might take the slow roll down if you wanted to engage your core. It would be like one vertebra reaching for the floor at a time. And once you arrive on the floor, you can walk your feet in closer to your body to set up for a bridge pose. Bridge could be supported with a block. You could have a block under the low back if you like, or between your knees, or no block. You can lift your hips up. Your hands might interlace underneath your body or rest. And so energetically, we're dragging the heels towards the head and breathing as the hips rise to the sky and the thighs roll inwards. And then you might add some calf presses here for the feet. You can lift and lower your heels if you choose, lifting and lowering. And as you lift and lower, intending to keep the hips high. And then eventually pressing the heels back down again, stretching the belly. Yeah, and then releasing your bridge when you're ready. So lowering back down. You could rest, you could rock windshield wiper or hug your knees in, squeeze them in. There could be a happy baby here. You can let the soles of the feet face the sky. And your bent knees can open wide and you might rock or be still. And from happy baby, you might take a half straddle. Maybe the right heel comes to your groin as the left foot flexes to the left, leg extension. And then the other side. It could be more organic or whatever feels good. And you might invite both legs to open into a V shape, drawing the tailbone towards the floor. Open heart, open hips. And then bending the knees to release this when you're ready. The feet can come back to the ground. We can bring the soles of the feet together on the ground and let the knees open like a diamond, sleeping butterfly. Letting the weight of the knees be cradled by gravity, just opening hips and heart. And then preparing to come into a final resting shape when you're ready. There might be something else that your body craves first. You can allow for that. You can take in a deep breath and sigh out your exhale. Tensing before relaxing is instrumental in letting go a little deeper. So you might tense up through your hands, your arms, your face. Push, squeeze, tight, tight, hold. And let it go. You might do the same for the lower body. You can tense up through the feet, the calves, the quadriceps, the glutes. Squeeze tight. Let it go. And you might do that with the whole entire body. You can squish, squeeze, tighten, tense through the whole body. Squish up your face. Let it go. Letting go even more. Just feeling the rush of anything that no longer serves you. Just releasing. It's transmuting. Letting go. And just landing here. Knowing that you can adjust anything that needs adjusting and knowing that there's no action required now. You can just be in this time, in this space. Observing what is now, a witness once again. Drawing attention into the body, into the space that you're in. You might take in a deeper breath, expanding even more, taking in a lot of air. Letting go. You can feel the energy move through the body, connected with your breath. You might move your fingers and toes. You might wiggle or stretch, expand. There might be a partial or a full body stretch. You might bend the knees. Give yourself a big loving squeeze, a message of loving kindness. You might rock from one side to the other. Just a slow transition. You might roll into fetal position or pause in any shape along the way. Eventually rising to sit grounded and spacious and tall and light. Feeling the harmony between the earth and the sky, space in between. Drawing awareness into your heart space, a heart abundant with intention, compassion, presence, well-being. And as you breathe in, expanding into a sense of self-love that is wellness. And as you breathe out, it moves through every cell of your body, coating you, filling you, surrounding you with love and light. Light in me bows gratefully and lovingly to the light in each of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste. Thank you. Thanks, Kathy. Have a good day.